The destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah is a profound and cataclysmic event illustrating divine judgment on extreme wickedness. The story begins with Abraham encountering three angelic visitors, with one of them disclosing the impending investigation into the outcry against the sinful cities. Genesis 18:20-21 sets the stage. Then the Lord said, "The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin so grievous that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me." Abraham, displaying his deep concern for potential righteous inhabitants, engages in a poignant dialogue with the Lord, seeking mercy for the cities. The negotiation between Abraham and God reveals the Lord's willingness to spare the cities for the sake of a few righteous people, ultimately highlighting God's justice and mercy. Genesis 18:23-32. The narrative then shifts to Lot, Abraham's nephew residing in Sodom. The angels arrive, and Lot, recognizing their divine nature, welcomes them into his home. The wickedness of the city becomes glaringly evident when the men of Sodom surround Lot's house, demanding the angelic visitors for their immoral desires. In an act of divine intervention, the angels strike the wicked men with blindness, protecting Lot and his family. Genesis 19:1-11. As dawn breaks, the angels urge Lot to gather his family and flee the impending judgment. Genesis 19:15-16 captures the urgency. With the coming of dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wife and of his 2 daughters and led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. The divine directive is clear: escape without looking back. Lot's wife disobeys this warning, looks back, and is turned into a pillar of salt, emphasizing the severity of divine commands and the consequences of disobedience. Genesis 19:17-26. The judgment itself is described in vivid detail in Genesis 19:24-25. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. Thus, he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities, and also the vegetation in the land. The destruction is swift, complete, and devastating, signaling the consequences of unrepentant sin. Lot and his daughters, the only survivors, find refuge in a cave. Their story takes an unsettling turn as Lot's daughters, believing themselves to be the last people on earth, resort to a desperate and morally questionable plan to preserve their family line. Genesis 19:30-38. The destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah stands as a biblical archetype, illustrating God's judgment on unrepentant sin and his mercy toward the righteous. It serves as a cautionary tale, emphasizing the importance of righteousness, obedience, and the consequences of a society that rejects God's moral standards.